So now we can build a basic electrical circuit. Let's try and use the paperclip switch idea in some real projects. There's an example of the paperclip switch there. So if we have a closer look at it and I just tilt it up, there it is there. Look. So what you can see is that the paperclip there has been bent up, pushed into the form with one of its prongs, and then there's another paperclip there. When we press on this little lever here, there it is, we should be able to see our little light bulb light up. So there's our very simple paperclip switch in action. But of course that's not a very usable switch. So what we'll do is we'll unclip it, and then you'll find other videos on the channel which show how to make this switch. So it's the same two paper clips, if you like, but this time I've joined them to two longer wires, and the wires themselves can clip onto the same points in the circuit as the other two paper clips. So this is our sort of homemade switch, which can perform the same job as a normal switch. So there it is there. The gap in between can be closed by simply pressing the switch. So and there's our little light bulb turning on and off. So what we want to know now is, well, what can we do with this switch? Well, there are so many fabulous little projects that this type of switch can help us sort of make. So if you want to do anything to do with light, like a very simple torch, or perhaps a lighthouse project where the light on the very top of the lighthouse has to turn on and off, but you want to be able to control your model from down below on the surface, and you want the switch to press like that. So that switch would have to make one of those switches. But also, instead of having the bulb like this and the battery in the box, this is not a suitable way to do it. So we need to get rid of that and start making these circuits into real individual sort of parts that can link together. So there's our paperclip switch. As I said, there's a video to show how to make that. But we also need to take our little light bulb and then say, well, we can't use that type of holder there. Let's make it into a pair of wires instead of a pair of metal contacts, a pair of wires which are long enough to lead back to wherever we need our switch and battery to be. So if you had a lighthouse tower, a tall tower, the switch could be at the bottom, the light would be at the top, the wires would lead down the tower, and then all we'd need is a way in which the battery could be connected. So we'd have a battery at the bottom as well. So I want you to start thinking about how on earth we can use our switches, batteries and bulbs in real projects. So a lighthouse or a torch would be a fabulous little project. What else? Keep the same switch, and this time if we were to use what? The buzzer. So now with the buzzer, what we'd have to be able to do is do a similar sort of thing, and you'll find another video on the same channel which shows how the buzzer could be wired up differently such that it made it easier to join to the switch and use it in a project. So this time what we'd want to be able to do is turn our circuit on whenever we press the switch, but this time we'll hear a buzzing noise, and the buzzing noise could be used as an alarm, or it could be perhaps used in a Morse code message. So alarms are great fun. How could the switch act as an alarm? It's easy to see how it could do the Morse code simply by pressing. Every time you press, you get the bleep. But making an alarm seems to be sort of the opposite way around. You'd have to have it such that if somebody wanted to steal one of your prized possessions, if they remove it, then the alarm switch somehow gets pressed. Well, we couldn't just sit it on top of the switch like that and press it like that, because that would mean that the two contacts were already touching, and now the alarm would be going while it was standing on top of the switch. we have to design or redesign the switch to do the opposite. So alarms, torches, switches, Morse code, all of these ideas can be explored outside of the normal circuit box, but we'd have to start joining these components together by using long wires and then other materials like this. So that's the challenge. Think of some project ideas and then have a look at the other videos on the channel. There are all sorts of vids, and I've got some of them jotted down here. So other related videos, I mentioned the torch. We've got the paperclip switch. The instructions are on the another video for that. We've got Morse code and we've got alarms. So all of these things are detailed in other videos. So take a look. With video number 11, we'll come back with further project ideas and further circuits.